Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Laurel Park here on Saturday. It is September the 10th, 2016. I'm going to look at all the stakes races on today's program. There's a lot of them. There are 6 stakes races, races 5 through 10. It's the Turf Festival. Great racing. Next few weekends of racing from Laurel are going to be spectacular, if that's the right word for it. I don't even think spectacular is going to be the right word. I think it's going to be just outrageous. It's just great racing. So yeah, I'm going to look at all the stakes races. If you want full card selection from Laurel, I will get them up there for on my Twitter page at Horse Racing Kid 5. So go check those out. So let's get on to it. Starting off with race number 5, a race that is rich in history. The 5th race is the Laurel Futurity. Purse $75,000 for 2-year-olds. We have a field of 8 horses traveling 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. Lately it hasn't been the best of runnings, because it's a turf sprint basically now for 2-year-olds. But back in the day, this race was just, you had some really good horses running in it. Barbaro ran in it in 2005. I think that was the first running they had at on the turf. It was the first running they ever had when they renovated Laurel Park in 2004 or 5. It's the first running they ever had on the turf course anyway. But Barbaro just ran a hell of a race that day. Tappet won in 2003, 2, 4, something like that. I think 2003. So it's just a great race. Maybe in a few years' time when they have extra, even more money, maybe they pass some slots or something, they can make this race back to maybe a prep race for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Maybe they could bring it back to like December and run it as like a Delta jackpot kind of race at a mile 16th on the dirt. But let's just look at this year's running. I could go off subject pretty quickly. We have 8 horses running in this year's running, and I'm going to go with the 3-horse here, who is Caribou Club, with Tom Proctor, who's a trainer. I'm going to go 3768. 3768. 3 Caribou Club, 3-1. Last time out ran at Saratoga on the main special weight, 5.5 furlongs on the Mellon Turf course. This horse finished third by 3 lengths that day. Was a favorite in his last 2 starts. His only 2 starts, and it had a bad race. He had a steady at the quarter pole, had to check a little bit in the stretch. It just wasn't his day to win. I think everybody was out to get him. He's getting blinkers on today, which should be a key also. Start before it came on this turf course at Laurel, 5.5 furlongs, July 17th, and main special weight for 46,000. Horse finished second by a neck that day. It was a little bit wide, just need a little extra kick. The winner of that race has come back to running this one today. I'm going to take my chances with this one here. I think he should have a great race. So I'm going to use this horse as top selection. So to recount my bets for race number 5 from Laurel Park, it's the Laurel Futurity. Going to go with the 3-horse Caribou Club. Going to go 3768. 3768. So now let's get on to race number 6 from Laurel. 6th race is the Salima Stakes, purse $75,000 for fillies 2-year-olds. We have a field of 9 horses traveling the distance of ground of 5.5 furlongs on the turf course. I believe they'll be using the inner portion for this one. They have all different names for the turf course. I know there's the All Brady, the All Long, the Kelso turf course. I'm not sure whatever they call the inner lane is. But the other race, the Laurel Futurity, is going to be run on the outer lane, 87 feet out. But, this is another great race to Salima. I found my way to the 4-horse Harlan's Thunder. Going to go 4198. 4198. Number 4, Harlan's Thunder. Edgar Prado at 9-2 for Belmont at Harlan's Holiday. One of my favorite horses, Harlan's Holiday. Too bad he didn't run very good, and I believe he ran in the Derby in 2002. But last time out, this horse ran at Monmouth, 5.5 furlongs, August 9th in the Colleen. This horse finished third by 5 lengths that day behind Red Lodge and Iron Miz. Red Lodge, I believe that's the horse, Wesley Ward horse that went over to, actually started his career at Keeneland by a jockey's mistake. Jockey kept looking over his left shoulder. Wrong shoulder look over because the horse coming up on the outside and won. Start after that, this horse broke a track record at Belmont going 5 furlongs, and then after that ran to Royal Ascot, did nothing. Ran the Colleen, did very well, but this horse finished third behind that horse by 5 lengths, just weak into the stretch. Start before that came in the Schuylerville at Saratoga, 6 furlongs on July 22nd. This horse finished third by 5 3/4 lengths in a field of 8 horses behind Sweet Loretta, who's a winner next start out, I believe in the Spinaway. But this horse, just had a very bad post position that day from the outside. Just weakened. It wasn't the best runs. And then the Astoria, this horse finished 6 by 9 lengths and broke his maiden at Churchill by 1 1/4 lengths to 10-1 back in May. I think the turf is the key for this horse. Had a decent turf run last time out. Coming back here today was facing a lot tougher. You look at the last 3 starts this horse was facing. It was just facing Stakes Company that was just a little bit too tough. And this spot today, I think this horse should have a very good race. So to recap my bets for race number 6 from Laurel Parks to Salima, gonna go with the 4 horse Harlan's Thunder. Gonna go 4-1-9-8, 4-1-9-8. So now let's get on to race number 7. Seventh race on today's program from the Turf Festival from Laurel Park is the Lady Baltimore Stakes. Purse $150,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses. They are traveling a mile and 16th on the turf course. They'll be using the outside turf course, 87 feet out, a mile and 16th. And somebody asked me a few weeks ago why I show the diagram. It gives me a second to look down at my notes, so just bear with me. Traveling a mile 16th here, and my top selection here will go to the 5 horse, number 5, and hopefully I say this right. It's the reason I can never become a track announcer, because I mispronounce things all the time. It's Tutti Paisi. We'll go with that pronunciation. I'm gonna go 5-4-8-2. 5-4-8-2. Number 5, Tutti Papisi, something like that, whatever I said. 3-1, Chris DiCarlo for Bill Monson, just went in again. Last time out, ran at Arlington Park, mile 3/16 and August 13th in Beverly D. Grade 1 event that day. This horse finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths in a field of 14. It was a tough race. What this horse did to finish 4th was pretty impressive. C. Colisio, I think might be one of the best horses in the country. I think personally the best filly in the country. I know people might be screaming at me right now saying that because, Tempin, Catch a Glimpse, but I just really like C. Khaleesi. She just had some very nice victories. But looking at the starts, this horse just didn't close that day. C. Khaleesi had a great closing kick to win. This horse just couldn't keep up with them in a very tough spot. Facing this company today shouldn't be a problem at all because this horse is just facing so tough horses last time out. Start before it came up Parks, July the 4th in the Dr. J. Penny Memorial Grade 3 race. This horse finished 2nd by 2 lengths, a little under 2.5-1. Just had a, bobble that day. Just need a little extra kick that day. He just didn't have the best of. He wasn't very focused, or she wasn't very focused that day. I had a feeling from that start. And then this horse ran the Santa Ana Grade 2 event at San mile 8th on March the 6th. Horse won by neck with Chris DiCarlo coming in to ride this one. Very patient ride by Chris DiCarlo that day. He's one of the best riders in the country, most underrated riders in the country, I think, because what he does, he does very good with the horses he rides. Very patient, got the where he wanted to, took off a very nice victory. This horse. He's been facing a lot tougher last time out, and this spot today, like I said, should really do well. So I'm going to go with this one. So to recap my bets for race number 7 from Laurel Parks to Lady Baltimore, going to go with the 5 horse here. Going to go 5-4-8-2. 5-4-8-2. So now let's get on to race number 8, the only race that's not on the turf of this sequence. The 8th race is the Shine Again Stakes, per $75,000 for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses traveling 7 furlongs on the Laurel Park main track. If we could get the page to load. Technology, isn't it great? 7 furlongs. And my top selection here in the 8th race, the Shine Again, will go to number 4, La Madrina. Gonna go 4-3-8-6. 4-3-8-6 for La Madrina. 9-2. Edgar Prado on the Shug McGahee horse out of Tappet. Winner of the 2003, we'll say, Laurel for Charity. Also won the Wood Memorial, I believe, also. But last time out, La Madrina ran at Saratoga. 6 furlongs on July 17th in the Honorable Miss Handicap. Grade 2 event that day. This horse finished 4th by 14 3/4 lengths behind some very good horses. from the inside, stayed on the rail, but just didn't have the greatest of closing kicks. Just needed a little extra kick, I think. It was the horse's first start since May the 13th. Also, 6 rungs on the mud, and an optional 40 claimer at Pimlico. This horse won by 3 1/4 of length at even money. It was a very nice closing victory she did that day. And then at the distaff handicap at Aqueduct 7 furlongs on April 17th, this horse finished by 6 lengths, getting beat by Paul's Silver Lining, Cavorting, and Bar of Gold. All horses in that, the first 3 all won next start out, so you have to say that was a very good race. This horse just had nothing that day, beating one horse. It was, a little excuse. It was the horse's first start in a while, since December, so you could give it a little bit of excuse, but it was a very tough field. Facing the horses today shouldn't be the problem, because I think she was facing a lot tougher last few. So 9-2, I know it's not the best price, but I'll take it. It's better than, even money. So to recap my bets for race number 8 from Laurel Park's the Shine Again Stakes, gonna go with the 4-horse. I'm gonna go 4-3-8-6, 4-3-8-6. So now let's get on to race number 9. This 9th race, the last few runnings, they've run this race now since 2012. It's been, or 2011, something like that, and it's been some very good runnings of it. And this 9th race is the Laurel Turf Cup. Purse $100,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. Kind of takes the place of the Washington D.C. International. I kind of get, maybe in a few years, I know they want to bring it back. Maybe next year this race will become the Washington D.C. International. But they're traveling 1.5 miles on the turf course, and for so many years, Laurel would never run a race over 1.1 miles. Basically, they would sometimes put a 1 3/16 race on the main track. That was very rare, other than like the Maryland Classic, until they took that to 1.1 miles. But they never used to run longer than 1.1 miles until they created this race in 2011-12. That's when they started running it. They only run one race over 1.1 miles a year, and that's this one. They're traveling 1.5 miles here. It's taken off the turf. I will be running 1.25 miles on the main track, which is probably going to be the first time in years they're going to run 1.25 miles on the main track. 9 horses in this year's Laurel Turf Cup, and my top selection here, we'll go to the 4-horse Generous Kitten. I'm going to go 4-1-6-5. 4-1-6-5. Number 4, Generous Kitten. Hector Cramos at 9-5 from Mike Maker. Last time out, ran at Arlington Park on August 13th in his American St. Ledger. This horse finished 7th by 9 1/4 lengths that day. Just couldn't close up that good that day. Had nothing, basically. The big horse running today over in Kentucky in the Kentucky Turf Cup ran just spots, just ran very good. Start before that came at Woodbine, 1.5 miles on July 3rd in the singles field. This horse finished 4th by 1.5 lengths behind a very tough field of horses. It was a little bit wide, got bumped, it just was a bad trip for him. And then this horse was running on allowance optional claimers during the winter at it had one start at Churchill. Mile 3, it's an optional 62 claimer. He won that day. Won a mile 7/16 optional claimer at Gulfstream, and finished 3rd in mile 7/16 turf race at Gulfstream on New Year's Eve. I think the horse should have a good run here. I'm going to use this horse as a top selection. If you're playing a pick 4, pick 5, pick 6, pick 10, whatever, I would use the 4-horse, and I would use the 1-horse here also. 4-1. Those are the 2 horses. I think it's a race between those 2, I think. So I'm going to use this horse as top selection, Generous Kitten. So to recap my bets for race number 9, the Laurel Turf Cup from Laurel Park, of course, going to go with the 4-horse Generous Kitten. Going to go 4-1-6-5, 4-1-6-5. So now let's get on to race number 10, the final race I'll be looking at here for you two. It is the Laurel Dash Stakes. Purse $100,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 13 horses. The 12 and 13 are also eligibles, so only 11 can run. And my top selection here, they're going 6 furlongs on the turf course. They'll be using the outer lane, second finish line, so 6 furlongs. And my top selection here will go to the 10 horse here. Number 10, Spring to the Sky. I'm going to do a superfecta this race. I'm going to go 10-2. I'll do 10-2, and for the 3rd and 4th place, I'll box 1-3-5. So 10-2 with the 1-3-5 for the 3rd and 4th place position. But even if I want to box 10-2 on the top, also for the first 2. But I think Spring of the Sky is a very good horse here. I'm going to use him as top selection. 4-1, Mike Luzzy for Bruce Brown. The 7-year-old gelding reported his gelding on the 17th of May of this year. Last time out, ran to Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs to Detroit. This horse finished sixth by 1 3/4 lengths. From the inside, this horse went straight to lead and just weakened, a little bit outfinished. It wasn't his best runs. Start before in the Lucky Coin at Saratoga, 5.5 furlongs, July 25th. This horse finished fourth by 3 1/4 lengths behind Long of Value and Successful Native and an undrafted. Successful Native was a winner next start out. But this horse just didn't really like that outside post vision. It just wasn't his best of runs. Then July the 4th at Belmont, 6 furlongs, Official 80 claimer from the 5 hole, went straight to the lead, won easily by a head behind Moser, who's winning back into this race, and just a very good running victory that day at Belmont. On this turf course, I think this horse should do well. He's 1 for 1 over it. He won this race last year by half length. 6 furlong distance, I think, is perfect. I think he needs that little extra half furlong. So I'm going to use this horse here as a top selection. So to recap my bets for race number 10 from Laurel Park, it's the Laurel Dash Stakes. I'm going to go with the 10 horse. I'm going to go 10-2 with the 135. 10-2 with the 135. So good luck to all and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.